Hannah Kobayashi. I want to know like your guys' thoughts. There was a new sighting. A new sighting. She was spotted again on video. SF Investigates posted this. He said, "I'm heading out to search for Hannah Kobayashi again," because he was searching for her and then he backed off, and then I guess now he's doing it again. He said, "Last week I had to step back, but since then her father has taken his own life and the situation has grown more complex. Despite these developments, my assessment of the evidence remains unchanged. I continue to believe this is a voluntary missing case, exacerbated by a mental health crisis." I might make this public after, but I'm for now for the members. I just want a small group for the members. I want to know your guys' thoughts. And he says, "In my opinion, there's absolutely no indication of abduction or trafficking," and I agree with that too. I don't think this is a trafficking case. I don't think she was like taken and being held against her will and you know, in the back of a trunk somewhere. After all, like looking at the timeline and the details, I don't believe it's any of that. And he says, in fact, it couldn't appear less like either one of those scenarios. I believe that the LAPD has a strong understanding of the circumstances surrounding this case, and that there have been sightings and or contacts since the 11th. I also suspect that many critical details have not been disclosed by those very close to the case, likely in a continued effort to control the narrative. Hannah needs to be located. I agree with that. And her well-being assessed. I agree with that too, to ensure that the time and resources of the community are being used appropriately and only if truly necessary. To be clear, I'm not retained as an investigator on this case. This is happening in the city I live in. Yeah, he lives in Cali. He's out there. Oh, B Tim, really? B Tim says Dr. Grande. I like his videos. He has like this really dry humor, dry sarcasm to him. I like Grande. I didn't see that video yet though. I didn't know he covered this. I have to check that out. So yeah, he's volunteering. He's not like an official person on the case. Then, from where Hannah Kobayashi was last seen. So now there's this new sighting, November 12th, at the Greyhound station. Let's take a look at this.
This is Union Station, where Greyhound is, and this is where you would come in if you took the metro in. If you walk, you would come down this tunnel. Either way, it's the same thing. There's cameras really covering this place. They've got complete coverage, so I don't think you could fuck out of sight of the surveillance cameras. You got those, and then when you get up here, you got cameras like this one. You got one in the middle. It's a 360 cam. You got another one right there, and then the ticketing for
Mustard Mama said, okay, hold on. She said she should be forced to reimburse the city for costs associated with her disappearance if she's found to have done this on purpose. I agree with that too. My opinion about this whole story has been kind of changing over the days, over the last couple of days. But okay, the father, it doesn't make sense to me. The father jumped off a building. Some people think that some people don't think that this guy. Some people think maybe somebody else did it, pushed him off the building. But to me, it just doesn't make sense to me. Who throws himself off of a building in the middle of their daughter's? I'm just gonna chuck myself off this building, right? Who does that? It doesn't make too much sense to me. I'm not saying I'm not implying that somebody else did this to him. I don't know the situation. I don't know. But I just think it's weird. Is he guilty of something? And some people have suggested that too. Is he guilty of, did he do some weird shit back in the day? I don't know. I don't want to put that on anybody, but it's weird as fuck, because as a parent, I could never imagine, well, let me just throw myself off this building. Let me chuck myself in the middle of the search. That's weird, right? So there's that element. And then there's Hannah. which honestly, I don't know. The things that I've been seeing and reading, you know, the timeline. I hate to say this, but like to me, she almost comes off as like a spoiled brat and entitled, right? Because let's leave dad out of this. I'm not going to put her dad's death because something was wrong with this guy himself to chuck himself off a building. There's something wrong with him. And maybe that was an accelerant. Like what happened with her, that was an accelerant, or maybe there's stuff that we don't know. I don't know. But because people say, oh, she was sex trafficked. Bro, she was cited multiple times on video and texting her family. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. To this, I mean, like I said, maybe she ran into somebody at some point, but I just don't believe that. So you have to be a really like a special type of somebody to like not give a fuck about your family and just disappear. I mean, she was texting him at first for a little while and then she stopped texting him. Who does that? So I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking like, it took me days to think about this, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's almost like you're a spoiled, entitled brat. You don't give a fuck about your family. You're not going to text them. You're not going to call them. You're going to let them know where you're at. And you're just going to disappear on this spiritual awakening. Who, like, right? Like, I don't know.
It's right here. And you can see there's two cameras there. There's two cameras on the left side. There's one above the ATM. When you come out, there's one right around here. There's one right there.
And I hope she's okay. And I hope she's alive. And I do think she is. I mean, I've covered these stories so many times. It's like we're just going in circles now.
And they got multiple cameras over there. And then you go up here to the plaza, and they've got two Greyhound bus bays.
Well, Floor, that's a good point you make. She said, especially after her dad's death too. I made a tweet. Well, the Karen Reed. I've upset some of the Karen Reed people in the last like day or something. I don't know, because I made some tweets. I haven't talked about Karen Reed really in a while, but as soon as I did, like the top people for Turtle Boy and Glare, these weirdo fucks with criminal history, they all started like they got really upset or whatever on Twitter. They started commenting, but. I made a tweet about Hannah, and I was just kind of putting it out there that like I don't know, like the story is weird, and I just don't think she was just like taken against her will. I mean, the cops even said, I think they literally said she voluntarily missed her flight. So there's not a mystery or conspiracy. Yo. Yo, crazy. But I say crazy, but it's not crazy because I remember that Florida story that I covered where there was this chick that like she came down to South Florida. I'm not saying she did this to party, but the Florida situation, a girl came to South Florida to party and we saw videos. She disappeared for 2 weeks. She was with some guy in some warehouse and like eventually she came up and went back home and we never heard anything else about the story again. Like, that was just it, you know? I don't know.
So, I think it'd be hard to stay out of sight of the surveillance cameras. And also, there's a bus that leaves at 7:30, and the next one after that, I think, is like 11. So, the 7:30 one heads to San Francisco, which would make sense. That's on Tuesdays, and that's the day that she was spotted, so I have a feeling that's the bus she probably got on. And Greyhound has a very small presence here. I mean, this is all like Metro, Amtrak, and everything. For them to specifically say Greyhound, they must have seen her buy a ticket.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
And they're giving this guy so much heat on Twitter. They're so mad at SF. I don't know why they're so mad at this guy. I'm confident that the evidence indicates that Hannah has not been abducted or is a victim of sex trafficking. There are numerous details that have not been disclosed, which is unfair to the public. According to several close to her, psychedelic. I didn't even read this post. I literally copy pasted this link, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna read this together. psychedelics or drugs are a part of her life. I've also been told that she is estranged not only from her now deceased father, but also from several other family members as well. The male she was last seen with is known. And I thought that was so weird because like they said there's like this male that was with her. Look, okay, November 11th, she was leaving Pico Metro Station near LAX with an unidentified person. And I'm like, well, why don't they post a video of this guy? Right? She's missing. There's this urgency. We're all worried, concerned. Where is she? And they have video of her with an unidentified male, but they're not posting the video. That's sus, right? That's kind of weird. That's strange. And so now, fast forward to SF, he's like, well, you know, and this is something I've heard as well. Before he posted this, I've actually heard that they know who the guy is, and so they don't want to post the video. And so now he's saying here the male she was last seen with is known. It's not a mystery. They fucking know who this person is. There are questions that need clarification. Is Hannah legally married to... Whoa! Who's Alan C? There are questions that need clarification. Is Hannah legally married to Alan C from Argentina? What? Was the ex-boyfriend who was on the plane with her also married? What the hell? If so, were these marriages for green card purposes? While I believe the marriage aspect may add complexity to her story, it does not seem directly related to her being missing. Okay. Weird. I don't know what's going on, but it's just strange. Strange. I strongly suspect that this is a voluntary disappearance and that she is pursuing some sort of spiritual path and purposely avoiding her family. And that may be the case. You know, this is what I've said. I just like, okay, you get like maybe she's not aware of like the search that's going on for her, but like for people to like disappear like that, and that's what I said, like spoiled, entitled, or you know, kids these days. She's 30 something, she's in her 30, she's younger, 30, 31. But you're not gonna even call your family. You're just gonna like disappear. That's where my thoughts almost come to like spoiled, entitled brat. You know, that's where because at some point it's like it's kind of selfish. All these people are searching for you. People are worried about you. We've seen you. I mean, there's a whole timeline and pictures and video and shit in multiple places. And you're just going to disappear for a spiritual awakening. You know? The date of the latest sighting. So, Jamcracker, they're saying now November 12th. That's what I'm hearing now. The supposed new date is November 12th. That's the new date. At this Greyhound at Union Station in Los Angeles. You know, so I don't know. I woke up today and I was like listening to the details of this and I got a little bit upset. I was like, yo, this chick, like, come on, bro. Like, you know, it's like the father, like I said, and not even just like I said. I think a lot of people are like, that's a little weird that this guy chucked himself off of a garage building in the middle of the search. And people have said, they say he's a nice guy, you know, he's caring or whatever, blah, blah. But it was estranged from his daughter. I don't know what the story is with dad. I don't know what happened, you know. I can't even relate to that because I just couldn't even, like, for my daughter, estranged, that's not even a thing. For me, personally, I know people go through that. I know friends that have gone through that. Oh, they're estranged. They don't talk to their mom or dad or whatever the case is. That's not even an option. You know, I argue with my mother sometimes. We disagree. I'll always love her. I'll never be estranged. But for some people, like, I guess it's strange, you know? And, you know, my father offed himself. I've talked about that too. And so, I don't know. When I hear stories like that, like I don't have any kind of sympathy, even for my own dad. Like I just feel like that's cowardly. But it's even more strange in the middle of the search for your daughter because he seemed very, very adamant. He did all these interviews. He was on all these news stations. We're gonna find you. Stay strong. Like it's just strange that he off himself in a really bizarre way too, to throw yourself off of a building. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. A shoe a day keeps the family away. Alan Thrift says, I went on a spiritual awakening once, ended up dancing, in the forest with Oprah. Okay. By the way, I was thinking of putting up a Christmas tree. I mean, I have to move some things around. Where I have the fridge in here, I was thinking like maybe put up a Christmas tree for the holidays. It's December 1st now. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with Hannah. I've been keeping an eye on it. You know, I've been watching. It's peculiar, I guess you could say. And I think I'll probably post this video public after. I just wanted to do a members live early Sunday morning.